Hello all Apex Legends players, my name is DriveFPS and I'm here to provide some objective evidence in the Apex Legends debate. As we know, a little while back the Halo devs released a chart depicting the differences between keyboard and mouse and controller accuracy. This chart shows that there's about a 2 to 3% accuracy difference between the aim of a top 100 keyboard or mouse player and the average controller player. It also shows that there's about a 10% accuracy difference between a top 100 controller player and a top 100 keyboard and mouse player. This was kind of a deciding factor, and everybody was able to accept that controller was overpowered and they needed to do something about the gap in accuracy. Whether or not the Halo devs' decision on that was the best is subjective. This is the R5 Reloaded tracker. If you don't know what R5 Reloaded is, it's Season 3 of Apex extracted and turned into a bunch of different game modes. They have free-for-all, 1v1s, LG battles, but what's important is that they track statistics and separate some of them based on controller and mouse and keyboard. So on the left, we have controller, and on the right, we have mouse and keyboard. The accuracy for controller players here tends to stay somewhere around 40%, give or take, and accuracy for mouse and keyboard players tends to stay around 30%, give or take. As we scroll down, we can notice that this trend simply continues. As we scroll down on the mouse keyboard side, we notice that these two guys are kind of outliers, and generally speaking, the accuracy only gets lower than them. We even have somebody in the top 20 players that's dropped all the way down to 20% accuracy. So what I did was, I added up all the accuracies and divided them by 50 to get the average accuracy amongst the top 50 controller players and the top 50 mouse and keyboard players. On the left side are controller players, on the right side is mouse and keyboard. As you can see, the controller players have a 10% accuracy advantage over the mouse and keyboard players. This is pretty much the same gap that was featured in the chart for Halo players. Keeping this in mind, I think it's pretty solid evidence that there needs to be a change. So there's something else that I wanted to add to the aim assist debate that I think a lot of people aren't thinking about. I think we only care about aim assist strength at the highest level of play. In the bottom 90% of players, I don't think anyone actually cares how strong aim assist is. I think it only comes to bother people when players are training their raw aim and their raw skill and they're facing something that seems unattainable. What we should do, since Apex is already a game filled with controller players and it's kind of Apex's thing to be inclusive, I think we should nerf aim assist to have the same accuracy as MK players. It is not fair for any player using their raw human practice skills to be beaten specifically because of artificially boosted stats.